output to start off. And then here we should see this coming up on YouTube, and here, and here. All right, and Twitch should now be streaming, not here, but it should be streaming on SudokuCon. Failed to connect to stream, failed to connect to stream. Failed to connect to stream. All right, this is not working. Okay, let's see if I can enable this destination. And if I change this to today's stream title, that would be nice too. All right, well, I'm guessing this is working. Yeah, but my SudokuCon key is not working, apparently. I don't know why. All right, that's not your problem, that's my problem. So today the major project I'm gonna work on is a remote viewer. It's basically replicating a live view of a puzzle on another window, which might be very useful for streamers, people who are doing kind of solving a shared puzzle with multiple people so they don't have to wait for stream delays and so on. But before we get started, I'm going to put this in here. Synchronized remote puzzles. All right. But before we do that, I want to have a quick look at the Photopea API because I've just finished working on a screenshot feature / plugin. Let's reload that because there shouldn't be that much stuff in the console. Here we go. And I'd like to check if instead of just downloading or opening it in a new tab or copying it to the clipboard, if I could just live open it into Photopea. So let's hopefully, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I'm just going to see that works. All right, let's see. And restream chat is there. Let me send the welcome. Why is that? Why does that not fit in the window? That's a bit weird. Oh, did I zoom? Maybe. All right, let's see if the chat's working. All right, seems to be okay. For some reason, the window doesn't fit though. Why? The chat window just is taller. Okay, I don't know why. All right. Just because there's a SudokuCon meeting happening right now, I believe. Maybe not just yet. All right. Screenshot open in Photopea. So Photopea is basically a JavaScript-based kind of clone of Photoshop, and it's freaking amazing for what it is. It's very good. I use it basically all the time for my thumbnails and so on and so forth. And I'm hoping they have some sort of API. I mean, I just Googled it, so I don't know yet. But it can be configured a parameter using a hash sign. Such URL can be opened directly or use the source of an iframe. String values encoded into the URL such as yada, yada, yada. So if I open JSON configuration object, must have the following structure. String values encoded into the URL using classic encoding. This string contains a JSON object. Okay, all right. So we have something like this. We don't need resources, files, server. Okay, maybe we can do without that. APIs, script can be used. Okay, so let's have a look. So basically they're saying if you have a JSON object, something like this, and then we can have files in here. And that's just an array, right? And we could, so let's make it small, right? And Let's just open that in a new tab. So that should, that doesn't give us the base 64. Do this. That's SVG. Okay, that's also not quite right. So it says PNG here. Now it's a PNG. If I do it this way, open that, and then change it to SVG. Open image new tab. It's an SVG. That seems wrong. Open image in new tab. It's an SVG image. Let's look into that first, actually. Somehow it doesn't seem to redraw the image when I'm changing that. All right, feature screenshot. Here we go. All right, so let's see. So it's the usual, back and forth, not quite getting to what I want to get to. But hopefully, I'd like to kind of clean this up because it's come together quite well, and I put a bit of work in it, and it's something people have been asking for a long time, and I think it's something a lot of people will get use out of. And by this feature, I'm talking about the screenshot tool. So let's see. So when I'm changing handle prop change, it does update screenshot, and it does prop change here. So in update screenshot, I want to see what our current options are. So I'll do console.log update screenshot options, and that's just that. And we'll also want to do set option up here. And set option, yeah, set option doesn't, oh, it doesn't refresh. Wait, what does refresh? Handle prop change does. Okay. So let's do a little loggy-loo in here as well. Handle prop change. Okay. And let's see what happens. So we are in SVG right now. We're opening it up. Screenshot. So we did one update screenshot options type SVG, even though it says PNG here. What's going on? Options.type. Why? That doesn't seem right. Options, handle open dialog, update screenshot. But then here it shows as PNG. Options.type. I'm wondering if select value is not correct here. Let's see if... It's claiming to be correct. Well, it looks correct. Let's put it that way. So this drop down thing here, select options type, select options value, tag select, children, options style undefined, options value. Select options, label options, select options, children, element.value, options.value. So, tag select here. Like I've done this before, right? Oh, select it. Yeah, I think the selected thing doesn't work this way. Tag select. Okay, tag select. Yeah, options.value won't do the trick, but then why does it... Oh, I'm not using it. I'm not doing it anywhere else. And create multi. I don't think I want to use that. Okay. All right. We're gonna have to do that differently then. Children options, and then selected content equals options dot type. Right? So it's PNG right now. I'm gonna open that. It's SVG. Okay. Change it to PNG. Oops. Close it. Open it again. PNG. Change to SVG. Close it. Open it. It's SVG now. Okay. If I change it to PNG, it does this. And if I open a new tab, it's this. And if I wait, new tab, doing that. And if I do this, all right. Yeah, we're gonna have to clean that up quickly. All the logging, we don't need any of that now. So yeah, we can't just set value to have the select input work correctly. And that's it. Okay. Needs a little bump on the patch version. Like that, a run bump patch. All right. It's just a minor inconvenience. It means it just doesn't, the moment you change it on the form, it'll work. But I'll deploy this later. Fix screenshot type option persistence. All right, I think that's all we needed there. Now, we needed this for our little API test here. Yeah, okay. All right, so we do this, and we'll probably do this down here so I can get JavaScript syntax highlighting like these. I'll put that in here. And what did the API say? So it's just the URL, so this should work. And we should be able to kind of just take that, and then we'll just do JSON.stringify, right? And if we test this, what do we get? Okay. So we'll get this, and then we'll need to encode it. Encode URI component, okay. So we'll do that as well. And now we have URI encoded JSON, and that we should be able to just attach to photop at the end with a hash. Just like that, huh? And if we do that in a new window, what happens? Ooh, okay. That's super simple. Hey, Shelby, how are you doing? I'm just kind of rushing through a little feature that I wanted to squeeze into. I mean, nobody's asked for this. Oh dear. All right. My nose is itching. Nope, that's the wrong browser. So, if I add another button here, and we'll say open in photop, and does photop have a SVG icon or a logo? Photop logo. Wait, if I do this and I go photo p icon SVG, if I do something like this, can we actually get an SVG version of their logo. Like, small, not huge. Ooh, Wikipedia is usually a good source for this sort of thing. Okay. If I just save this, right? And then I open it here. Okay. And if I make this the usual 24 by 24, and then put it into my SVGO, like this, paste markup here. And then, how do we get it down? 541 bytes. Oh, we can get the precision down quite a bit. Wow, that means it just has a ton of points. All right, if we just copy this now, put that here, how big is it? It's not too bad. All right, if I take this, go back here, and I'll just do something like c.icons photo p, and we'll use the backticks so we don't have to worry about single quotes, right? And then we can just do c.icons photo p, and with this we should have a fifth button here under screenshot. The buttons are a little, that is so wide. Didn't I fix that? I thought I'd fix that. Can I give these buttons a fixed width? Does that make sense? I'm not sure, because I'm trying to use Flexbox, but I'm also trying to don't have the buttons stretch. Like, I can't do that. What? CSS flex fixed width. Fixed width. Fixed width with wrap. I want it to wrap, but I don't want it to stretch. Explain for. I want these to be all the same width. Wrapper item. Sizing color. I wonder if I should just float them. Or inline block them. What if instead of flex boxes, they were all inline blocks? Let's have a look if we can do that quickly. So instead of doing all of this flexy stuff, right? We go display inline block. And then I can make them all the same width. Oh. Inline block. Why are they doing this? Display flex. So if I go we go display block, display inline block with I don't know, 40%. Well, it's 40% of what, right? Ah, okay, it does 40% of the thing, of the window. The question is, how does it behave on narrower? Yeah, you see, this is what I don't want. What if I do min width? And then it can go wider. And can we center them? Centered inline blocked. Is it like the inline block? Yeah, is this like position relative transform? No. Justify content. We do this. I don't know if the minimum width will have the desired effect though. Okay, we're still not justified on that. Justify content. Line flex items along the main axis. No, this is not for flex. Justify content. Position. Center an inline block element without needing to modify its parent styles. Justify content center on the child. Okay. So if I do this, nope. I mean, I could have the outer thing centered. It's basically, I don't want the close button to be full width. I want, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. So if it bothers me at the end, I can just, I know that there's only 5 buttons, right? There's not gonna be a magical extra button. Then we can just limit that button's width manually. I don't like that the button's all that wide, but for now, it's all right. I don't like it. I don't like it. It bugs me so much. I've done other dialogues with stacked buttons. I don't think I've ever done that many. They save lot. Usually I'll have just one column of stacked buttons with a fixed width. All right, anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're gonna see if photo P. All right, so we'll do photo P, and we'll need a new function for that. So handle dialog button will now have a photo, capital P, image, photo P. And it's basically same as image new tab, except we're not going to use the blob URL stuff, right? So what we're going to do is we'll just get the URI. Actually, we'll just get the source. Right. So we'll do something like this. Let URL equal 0. So it'll be basically this plus this, and then here it's just going to be all of that, and that's just going to be the source of our preview image here. Whatever it is, it should work after we're mangling it through all of this, right? And that should work, I guess. Yeah, I don't think that, when did I call this blob URL? It's just called URL. Boom. Okay. So if we go here, make it bigger, make sure it works with a larger one. Something like this. Do this, and I'll photo P. Boom. It works. It works. And if I do it with SVG, maybe it doesn't work with SVG. What's the URL now? Okay, it's much larger. Ooh, it does something. It does, holy moly, it does open it as a mess of bits and pieces that aren't quite formatted right. But maybe somebody will have a use for this. Okay. Like the colors aren't there. Okay, it doesn't evaluate the style sheets correctly, but hey, it kind of almost sort of works. Sweet, and that's a very small addition. All right, I'm happy with that. Yeah. And how big are these URLs? I don't even know. This one is 235 kilobytes. Oh, because it's a hash. They don't have the limits. Oh, interesting. You know what? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna add that as well. Do we have any spurious logs? Nope. Okay. It's gonna be a minor bump. Not a bug fix. It's a small feature-ish. I mean, it's super tiny, but, you know, it is what it is. And boom. All right, that's already done. Sweet. Didn't take too long. So where are we at? Gonna grab the version from here. Edit photo P2 screenshot. Boom. All right, and I'm just gonna deploy that to beta quickly. So if we're gonna go open this on, do I have something open on beta already? Here we go. So if I go here, right? And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say screenshot. Ooh, and then it doesn't work. Okay, need some more testing. Gosh darn it. I think it's probably struggling with if the information isn't available and I'm not filling in defaults correctly. So line 102, which is probably where it's loading the data, load options, 102, saved options. So we gotta do saved options is this or that. And I'm gonna, you know what? We can test it here. If I go in here and search for screenshot, I can just delete that and then I can refresh and screenshot. Yeah, I think that should be it. All right, it's sometimes, you know, that sort of stuff sometimes is a bit tricky to test because you have to deploy it to test it. So you won't notice it until after the deployment. And it's going to be another hot patch. Not a hot patch. Hot patch is when I update the production version just to patch one thing, sort of out of sync with beta. All right, fix. Loading on fresh. On loading null options. All right, and then I think we can just deploy that again. Did I press enter already? Apparently. And then we should be able to go back to wherever this one was and refresh that. And that should just work, right? And if I now go to screenshots, okay. And if I change it to blank puzzle, PNG, blank puzzle, trim white space, photo P. Bada bing, bada boom. Seems to work. All right. So the worst thing about it is now the dialogue, the button alignment. All right, I'm gonna post that quickly because I'm kind of happy. Kind of proud of myself that I put it together in such a short time and actually to a fairly high feature richness. I didn't just quit and say, okay, I mean, I have more important things to do, but, you know, I'm glad I did it anyways. So I can actually... Whoop. Nope. Red pen. Can I... Ooh. All right, I'm just posting this into the Discord for James. All right. Sweet. And now people can use these. We have the trim white space. Yep. There's one thing I'd like to do somehow with this padding edge to kind of indicate what is outside of the image. So, because right now it looks like that's the edge, but it's really, this is no edge. This is just some default padding in there. So anyway, but I'm not gonna do that now. I made you guys wait long enough for something more exciting. So we're gonna look at synchronized remote puzzles. So last time I started work on the stream tool, and we have, with the stream tool, we have a way of passing information back and forth between clients and servers. So now I want to build something very simple where we can link two puzzles, two browser sessions together in a way where one sees what happens in the other one. So we have our test 0, right? And the idea now would be that we'll basically somehow designate one as a host, right? And then the other one as a client, something, right? And the idea would be that we basically imply two kinds of keys, sort of a host key and a client key. So the idea is that that we can share a URL that has the client key in it, and those people can view the session, but they cannot interfere with it, right? So to get started, we're going to open this up, and this I think I don't need up here anymore. I can manage down here. So this is our stream tool feature. Stream tool, right? And we obviously also need to work on the server side here. Oh, and I think I can close all of this. I'm just going to scroll down quickly to see if there's something else that's interesting. It's kind of cool that you can run a script as well. Probably some cool things you could do with that. Like you could say, hey, take this and then apply a filter or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. Cool. All right, this is actually really, really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. And it's free. Amazing. All right. And I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. Oh, did James see it? All right. So we are, oh, what's this? Ah, yeah, okay, photo P, get rid of that. So I'm gonna open up the server script over here, and the server script will live, this is a puzzle server, yeah. So hopefully I don't have to open the server file itself at all anymore, and any change I need to make happens down here in the puzzle server itself. Let's gonna organize that a little bit. And with the stream tool, I'm just gonna work with the URL here. So we're gonna do host key equals host 01, and client key equals client 01. So we're just gonna do this, and we're gonna store. I'm gonna open this just to have some notes down here, right? And on the server side, we should be able to see these, right? So the server is here. So on the server side, actually, I don't know if query strings are getting passed through by the WebSocket connection. Maybe, but I don't know if they'll get through the upgrade and all of this stuff. And it's okay. It's okay because we could potentially send it after the fact, right? So on the server side, we have WebSocket open, Client API, no. We want... I'm just looking down here. So handle WebSocket connection. Set host. So set host is a thing we can send. Okay, let's kind of see where we're here. So I'm already kind of fuzzy around the edges. So we have all of this stuff here. Connect. So that's this. We've got this URL connecting here, url.href, might as well. And then open, handle WS open, handle WS message. So we'll get a set host message coming through from the server side. Handle WS close. Why did we get a close here? Why did we get closed? Update. Okay. So I guess all we want to do here is we're just going to wait. We're just going to make this async. Where's connect being called from? .connect. Is attached equals true. Fair enough. So we're going to do await sleep. I don't know. 100 milliseconds, and then we're gonna send a message. So send message. Where do we use it to remind myself? Okay, and we also want to access the query string search. So I'm sure I've done this kind of thing here before. All right, so we'll do this. I'll do that. And then we'll do let host key equals qs.get host key. Oop. And then client key. And then we can output these two. Host key, client key. So that's all client side so far. All right. And now we can send them over. Send message. So what is the command we want to send? So we want to set a host key, which means setting the host key. The host key is basically the secondary chat room, right? The chat, we have the primary, which is the puzzle itself, and then the secondary, which is the host key. And in the future, I wonder if we even want per puzzle host keys, or just have, you know, the puzzle being almost doesn't matter, right? But for now, I guess if I send both, I'm the host, and if I send just the client key, I'm the client, right? So what did we want to call this feature? It was remote puzzles. Let's call it clone view. Right, and then we'll just pass in these two arguments. And then on the server side, I'm presuming it's just going to say, oh, I don't know. And we're missing one letter. Unknown command, clone view. Yes, that's as expected. And that happens in handle WS. No, it shouldn't be handle WS connection. It should be unknown. So this should be, okay. We'll do that. So we'll do case clone view. All right, and then we'll do just handle clone view. So this dot handle clone view WS message. Great. And then hopefully eventually all these messages will be more or less kind of like this. All right. And then this will have the message in there. So every time I save here, the server restarts, which means then the client gets disconnected. So it's a bit of a dance. I should start thinking about the auto reconnect and all this sort of stuff because we need the kind of reliability things. All right, so now I'm getting the ping messages. How often is the ping happening? Ping, ping, ping. Ping. 2 ping interval, 5 seconds. I think we can slow this down to 30 seconds. And here we have handle clone view like that. Okay, so now for the clone view to happen, we need to have basically our clone view rooms, right? And I'm gonna see if I can handle it within here. Probably not. So, because now I'm thinking, do I need to basically have all clone view stuff messaged separately, kind of because later on, eventually, I want to actually move all sorts of data through here, like mouse movements and so on, right? And I don't want to have to send that data multiple times for each sub feature, you know. So I have a clone view mouse movement and a non-clone view mouse movement, etc. Right? So the clone view eventually needs to kind of be able to receive mouse movement stuff. So all right, we're just gonna look at this stuff here. So if msg dot host key this dot clone view host key equals this, right? If message dot client view client key. I think I just assign these dumbly, right? Because if they don't exist, then it's not a problem. And this is, I'm happy to rebuild this in the future once I have a better, I don't have a good idea for an architecture right now. Because I feel like I'm now thinking, lots of things will have sub features. There'll be some system that wants to get mouse movements. There'll be a system that wants to have shared puzzle data. And in the future, I think there'll also be a system where the puzzle is also running on the server, sort of quote unquote, kind of a clients like in video games, you don't want a client to tell every other client where they are. They want to tell the server where they are. The server checks if that makes sense, updates the game state, and then synchronizes it with everybody else. That kind of system. But I've never actually, I don't have a quote unquote headless way of running the puzzle at the moment, so that's future stuff. Okay, now here we want to basically, we don't actually want to do this, right? We want to have something. So how are we gonna do this? So I'm just gonna do WebSocket stuff. So I'm just gonna go clone view here, right? Start clone view function host key client key, something like that. And we'll just, do that. Clone view. Put these two things here. And put them there. And then we're gonna do all of these things. Well, not exactly. We'll do that here. And then here we'll do this dot start. Because now we're gonna have to set a bunch of other things to make sure we are aware that this is what we're doing, right? We might have to set up all sorts of handlers for events and all sorts of stuff. Something like that. Gonna put a comment here so I remember in the future why that's like that. So now that we're starting the clone view here, I think I'm gonna actually start with the mouse movement stuff. Now, I'm a bit annoyed because I've built a lot of this stuff before. And... yeah, I'm wondering if I should just blindly add my own mouse handler on top of everything. I think I'm going to try to build a prototype within this before I kind of figure out where all the code should go, right? So we'll do something like this, const handle mouse move event. I'll just do mx my event yada yada, and then we'll do document.add event handler mouse move. And I'm just gonna try to build it here in this closure instead of spreading the code all over everything else. Let's see kind of if we can put something together. All right. Add event handler. Document.add event handler. Add. Wait, document.add event listener. God damn it. All right. So where else am I handling this already? I'm pretty sure I'm already doing an mxmy thing somewhere else. In fact, am I already handling position stuff? Event handler. Okay, wait a second. Attach scroll handler. Does attach scroll handler actually keep a record of mouse movements already? Maybe. Maybe. It doesn't expose it though. I'm tempted to expose this. But at the same time, because it does all the stuff of figuring out what the exact position is and all this stuff. My god, it really does a lot of stuff here already. I'm gonna take this thing. That's for damn sure. Oh, we're good. So if I do this, refresh that. Let me know if anything is not... Okay, here we go. All right. So that gets us a mouse position. Now, I don't know what the frequency here is. So, like, looking at these numbers, this is basically 60 FPS. So probably we'll want to throttle this. Right. So we want to update. So const. I'm just going to start these out as 0. Const update mouse update pos x y. Right. And now we'll do update pos here. X y. And then here we'll do update pos. Wait. Pull that out. We'll just do update pos. Got pos. Event. Boom. Right. Well, we'll leave both in. So right now they'll be synchronized. Yeah, one of each. And then we'll throttle it. We'll throttle. I just did this earlier and I'm not gonna remember that. All right, here we go. And then we'll say, okay, maybe 5 times per second. It's probably enough. So we're gonna do throttled, update pos. Throttled, update pos equals throttled func, update pos. every 200 milliseconds and no more than 500 milliseconds, or every 100 milliseconds. So 10 times per second, I think that's enough. It might seem a little rough, but it's a damn sight less than full frame rate, right? And now we're gonna call throttle update pos here. So you can see how update pos doesn't get executed nearly as often anymore. Now I think we want the maximum to be less than this, because it'll always be this basically, because generally you're moving the mouse a lot. In fact, if I get rid of this now and I just look at that, so it never happens. I thought the maximum time should kick in. That's actually interesting because I've never really had an opportunity to test this or a reason. So max timeout should be hitting eventually. Set timeout max timeout ID. If max timeout ID is undefined, throttled func. Max timed out ID. Stop func. I don't know if this is gonna be super spammy, so this might just crash the browser window because it might hit lots of other things as well. Somebody's reporting that the screenshot feature doesn't seem to work on mobile, but it should. So, I go to beta, what? Beta. Let's see. Screenshot. Download. Download seems to work. Clipboard. Allow, that seems to work. New tab seems to work. And did I just type in the main window? I'm just going to reply to Handyman here. Options. All right. So whoop. One too many A's. Terrible at typing quickly. So, max timeout ID 47. Okay. So max timeout ID, max timeout, set timeout, max timeout equals undefined. So actually, what we really want to log is set timeout, max timeout ID. That's not quite as spammy. So set max timeout ID. Yeah. And then handle func. Now, handle func executes up here. So I'm just gonna log that, but I'm not quite sure what that means. So I do this. Yeah, you see handle func doesn't work. Doesn't kick in. So I'm guessing it keeps getting it doesn't get cleared here, huh? That's definitely a typo. Holy crap. All right, that's been there since I built this, like freaking eons. So that was always broken. Ah, here we go. Now it just freaking works. So I'm moving, and then the update function fires. Okay. Well. Well. That was an easy fix to a fundamental problem in a function that I'm using all over the place. Hopefully that reliability was never a big issue. Fix. I'm just gonna do an unversion fix here. With this. Boom. Alright. So, don't have to worry about that anymore. Hey, Andy. When you press the button in the settings menu, it doesn't open the screenshot dialog. What what URL and what phone? I mean, on my phone it just works. So I don't know if I can. So settings, and screenshot, and boom, screenshot. Oop, just works. So I don't know, is it an iOS phone? Is it maybe you're not on the right domain name? Does the replay GIF button do anything? Because it's literally the identical code. All right, I don't know what was going on there. Okay, I'm starting to realize that maybe 500 milliseconds is also a bit long, because most of I didn't think of that most of the time, as you're moving a lot, it'll actually accumulate. So this is actually really the 100 milliseconds, and then the short time could be quite low, actually. You know, maybe 50. So if it's less than 50, it waits 50 milliseconds before sending data, basically. So something like that. Yeah, so now we have this. Now let's do a quick counter. Let update count equals 0. Update count plus. Just to see how many updates it kind of throws away. Yeah. Okay, so like we're sending data every 13 times. So it's roughly 60 FPS probably. Okay, that's fine. That is what I was hoping for. So this is all getting super simple. We just have that. Okay, so now we're updating the position. Android Chrome. Yeah, worked fine on my phone. Not sure what's going on there. Check if it happens again. Check if the replay GIF button works, or any other of the buttons, because they all basically execute the same code. Okay, so now we have cursor position. Now we're gonna turn that into a message and send it to the other side. So here we're gonna have this.send msg, and it's gonna be cmd pointer, then just gonna be x, y. And we'll probably mx equals x, y equals y. I'm just gonna hold on to it internally as well. So now, if we're gonna run this, it's gonna spam the hell out of our server down here. All right. And now we're just gonna hard code a little bit something to handle this. So we'll do case pointer break. Now, in the future, we're gonna handle clone view. I think I'm just gonna pass it through handle clone view. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna do this. Handle pointer. Handle MSG clone view. And we're gonna locate this. So in the future, this might be kind of made more or less automatic. MSG clone view, handle MSG clone view. Now we're gonna do a handle MSG pointer. Right. And then basically what we want to do is, so we'll do this. So XY pointer stuff, right? And we're gonna look at WS host key. Something like this. Because only host key pointer movements are listened to. So if we don't have a host key, we don't actually care. And now I need to basically reach out and find all the other members of this particular chat room. Puzzle, sorry, not chat rooms. Host key undefined. Clone view host key. All right. I wonder if host and client settings are more generic and I don't even need to prefix it, but you know, it's fine. Clone view host key. Clone view. Oh, not this. WS. Boom. Right. Clone view host key. Host 01. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to find. So we have broadcast. Broadcast message. Now broadcast message looks at puzzle ID. And the puzzle ID comes from puzzle ID, broadcast update, broadcast update, puzzle ID, connection client, puzzle ID, puzzle ID. Okay, so we have a puzzle ID on the WS, something like that, right? Yes. Okay. So we kind of want to do a broadcast. Except we want to do broadcast to everybody except ourselves, right? And that's something the broadcast system needs to have in the future, but right now, I don't want to spend the time building it. So right now, I'm just going to loop through that, right? So puzzles. I'm just going to do WS puzzle ID. Right. And then we're just gonna do WebSocket client, right? And we'll just do if WSC equals WS console.warn skip WSC. I'm just gonna do that. Continue. And then console skip WC host. Console.log update WC. Right, now we don't have IDs, but I don't think we need them. Okay, so I do this, and now skip WC host. Now, if I create a second one of these guys, right? So here, you see nothing happens because this guy's not a host. Wait, why is he not a host? No, he is a host. Okay. So we need one where we need this one without a host key. That's basically what we need, right? Handle message pointer. Handle message pointer. Stream tool. Oh yeah. We're not doing this if we're not a host. So let's just refresh that. This, you know what? I think if I put this on the left edge, yeah, makes more sense. We have more space. Clean. Actually, no, doesn't make sense because I'm not used to it, and it just messes with my head. Okay. Start clone view. Disconnect. Oh. Yeah, that's completely completely upside down, but we have handle WS message, connect, start clone. Okay, wait, I don't know what's going on here. Boom. So start clone view, host 01, client 01. And here, start clone view now. Okay. So clone view, host key, yada, yada. And then here, if host key, right. And then we'll just do a console.log init host init clone view host. And then down here, we'll just so we know what's happening. Clone view client. All right. So init clone view client, init clone view host. Yeah, and what I want to achieve is that a host can connect later and disconnect and reconnect. I don't know how I would check that. How would I check that? I guess if I put slash, so announce message marker. Do you know what the slash command is for changing, let's say, a title? I guess that's what you mean by editing. Slash announce clear commercial. I'm comparing to my own to see if there must be a slash command for changing the title, right? Title set. There should be a button for mod view. There's chat settings. Chat settings, is that it? I mean, I definitely have mod. But that was what you were asking, right? Because that's kind of the only thing I wanted to edit in the past. I don't know how to check. What do you want me to do? I can do that. But to be honest, I'm not sure if I want to... Well, my multi-output thing might let me stream. Yeah. Yeah, feel free to send the key and I can just update it and see. I don't know why. I would be interested to know why the old key doesn't work. Like, does it expire or did you disable it or something like that? Like, I think it's more interesting to know what happened rather than... Yeah, I'm sure you can give me a new stream key, it'll work. But we kind of want to know what went wrong as well. All right, so restart this, restart that. We're updating positions. And down here, we'll get one update WC, one skip WC host. So now we can, while we're doing the skippy stuff, right? I'm gonna do WSC clone view. I'm gonna output both actually. WSC clone view client key. And I'm gonna output both of these up here as well. Right. And we're gonna do the same thing over here. So refresh, refresh. So now if I do this, and as I move, I'm kind of looking down here, which is super tiny probably for you guys. So we have the puzzle ID, handle message pointer, puzzle server handle WS message. So we're gonna start removing some of the update WSC null client 01. Okay, so the host view is null. Wait, do we not have... Oh, one sec. I'm gonna do this. So we should have two now. Update WS null client, skip WS host client. Okay, so we kind of want to check if the client keys match. Clipper the meeting's over. Could just be the changing email phone number also kicks out the invite list. Yeah, it could be. All right, I'm gonna try the key you just sent me. So I believe I can do that here. That's one nice thing actually about this plugin as well, is that I can stay connected because before it was a big deal, for example, if my restream didn't work properly and I want to disconnect and reconnect quickly with YouTube, changing the settings would take so long that sometimes YouTube would just time out the stream. While here, I can just set it all up while I'm still connected. So let's try. No, it still says failed to connect to stream. It could be a problem with the plugin as well. Let me just set it again just to make sure. Start connected, failed to connect to stream. Okay, could be a problem on my end. I'll look into it after the stream. I was already running late, so I couldn't wait for troubleshooting. All right, so yeah, we're gonna match up the client key here. So we're gonna update. So we're gonna say if we're matching, we're gonna skip. Else if this equals that, right? If we're matching on the client key, and you know what? I'm just gonna pull them out here. So we're gonna call host key. I'm gonna put the host key here, and client key here. So we don't have these stupid long variable names everywhere. Like that. Like that. And, whoa, nope. Host key, go there. And we're gonna match the client key. Actually, we don't want to skip just ourselves. We basically want to skip anybody with where the host keys match. Right. So if WSC clone host key matches host key, skip host. All right. And then if the client key matches, update WSC client. Right. So that should do the, oh, yeah. That should do the trick. Oh, no. Still broken. No, panic. Everybody, panic. Are you panicking? Even directly, huh? Well, if the stream key changed on the SudokuPad site or not, that would tell us a lot. Okay. Yep. All right. So now we should have two guys in our list, and I'm looking at this down here. And we have one client that gets updated and one client we're skipping. All right, and I feel like the auto reconnect thing, I probably want to handle that soon because, yeah, let's see if we can handle this. So if I save this, we get a close event here. So we're gonna get a handle WS close. Boom. All right. So then we're gonna try to reconnect after 3 seconds, and for now just one. We don't have to do like all sorts of extra checks and whatnot, right? So reconnecting happens where exactly? So the problem is the clone view stuff. We got to be careful because we're going to get multiple versions of these guys, of these event handlers. We probably want to do a flag here. If host key, yada yada. If this dot clone view ready, if not this clone view ready, do all of this, and then set it to true. Equals true. So that should only execute once. And we can also output that here. Hey Andy, let's see, what are you saying? Glipperl was on Twitch and you're on YouTube, right? Stranger, looks like it doesn't trigger on the first occurrence in a browser. It had the same thing from launching a puzzle directly from YouTube. But it then works in all substitute. Okay, so that could actually be a problem with initializing the data stuff. So, and I had problems with that before. Let's see. So if we go to application, thanks for looking into that, by the way. Here, local storage. Screenshot. Where is screen? Sven codes. Wait, where are these things? I'm not seeing them here. Puzzle counter. Endless puzzles, groups closed. 1 second. That looks weird. Screenshot. Load options. Load options. So, setting name. And then saved options. So if we're doing these 3 things here, screenshot, saved options. This was an issue I actually fixed. Could it be that you don't have the latest? Oh, did I not bump the version for that small fix? Maybe I didn't bump the version, and because I didn't bump the version, it doesn't. No, I did version bump. Can you confirm which version you have, Andy? Sorry, handyman. It could be that you were still looking at an older cached version, because I only just fixed that. Let's try it on incognito mode. It could be that what I did fixes it only for desktop, but not for mobile. But then on my phone, that was the first time I looked at it as well. Let's see, if I copy the URL, and then I go into incognito tab, and I open it. So this should be completely clean. First time. Screenshot. No, it still works. Maybe you just got unlucky and you basically popped in just when the fix hadn't gone out yet, or I hadn't deployed it yet or something. I don't know. It's possible. What was I doing? Oh, okay, wait. Let's just close this. Make sure I don't get myself confused working on 2 things at the same time. So, what did I want to do? I wanted to make sure this only happens once. So we should have a clone view ready. Okay, I didn't save that, I guess. Clone view host undefined. Now, if I save... Okay, wait, yes. Handling the disconnect. So we want to do a reconnect. And right now, what happens? What does the connect in the first place? So this is the only thing this... so we're just connecting on attach. So if I just do a set timeout something 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 or 3 seconds, or let's say 1 second, right? Console.log try reconnect, and then we'll just do this.connect, right? So if I do this, so we're now connected. I do this. And we're still connected. So 1 second seems to be enough. And it should actually happen each time. Like I don't even need an interval, because each time we get the the disconnect message as well. All right, and if I do this, all of these guys should init clone view client, Yeah, it doesn't do anything here. All right. And then, similar event handlers. The version that I deployed on is 404-.1. Yeah, that's the one that should be working. I think it's, but that may have just refreshed when I went back into... Yeah, it could be. Well, if you encounter another issue, let me know, and I'll dig into it. But right now, it seems that maybe you were just unlucky and found my bug before I fixed it. All right, so I am seeing 2 updates and no skip. Why am I not seeing any skips on the server? We should see 1 skip. If host key equals clone view host key, skip, update, skip. Skip and update. Well, I don't know why I removed these. Might as well still WC. All right, so skip, update. Okay. Skip, update, update. Okay. So now we can send a message to WSC, right? Oh. And then we'll just do a... I don't know if we need to mark these. So maybe host position? Well, I guess it's literally just pointer, right? Because we've signed up for being a client. And then we can still ignore it on the client side, right? We can still have a toggle saying, hey, take over or whatever. So, and this message here. You see, it looks like one of the clients didn't reconnect. So we're skipping host, but the clients aren't here. Handle WS message update. It's almost like these clients didn't get the disconnect. Try reconnect. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye on it. So we have the message coming through, and I guess we can just forward it like that. All right. So now if I do this, we get update plus, and then here we get unknown pointer message. Okay. So now I'm almost tempted to emit events on this thing, but for now, we're just gonna warn. We're just gonna handle it here. So we have an update, handle pointer. Right. And with pointer, what do I want to do? Because what I'm thinking is if I emit events from here, I could just listen to them from here and keep all the code in one place. But we're going to have a lot of events flying around. It's going to be a little bit messy. And I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, we'd probably definitely want to throttle it and whatnot. Like what we could do is we could just then say this dot trigger MSG, right? And then we could here have here we'll do the same thing on the client, right? Yeah, it's just a client setup. And then we'll do this dot on CMD handle CMD. And we do const handle CMD equals event args. And we'll just do this. And like, it's a bit sluggish right now, but this is kind of the core infrastructure. And then a lot of the stuff is just going to clone same thing over and over, you know? This dot on. Do we not have... no, we do not have events here. Dot, not patch, monkey patch. Portable events. Mix in. We cannot just want to do that. Boom. All right. All right, and here we get the pointer messages. Sweet. All right. And we can probably silence this for now. We probably want to trigger this anyways, right? Kind of like that. And then for now, none of these actually do anything. For now, they just trigger. And then here we can do switch. And what are the two arguments? Event. Wait, handle CMD. Where's group? Pointer. Handle WS message. No. What are you doing? Don't do that. Refresh all of these. And now if I do this, update, update. Okay, that's not happening. So if not clone view ready, this trigger MSG, CMD, MSG. All right. Oh, my brain. It's too late. I've been working too hard for the last couple of days. I gotta tell you that. I've been working too much in too short of a time. Okay, all right. So the event is just what we're passing. Is the argument that's come through. All right, so that's just message then. And then we can do switch msg.cmd. I will do case pointer. Now this means we also need to render break. We need to render this somehow. And I don't remember how I used to do that. Oh, so we'll probably want to set up a. For now, we'll just create a div, right? So we'll do document.body.insert adjacent HTML before end, and it's just gonna be a little div. I'll put an X in here, and we're gonna style it. We're gonna make it position absolute. We're gonna make it with 2 rem height, 2 rem, and we're gonna make it border radius 1 rem, and then border 2px solid magenta, right? And that should just put something somewhere. Insert adjacent HTML. And I don't see it. I don't see it. It should be before end. Down here. Here. Width, height, left 10 px, top 50 px. Oh, top 50 px. Okay, there it is, right? So, left 0, top 0. Border radius 2, width, height, line, height 2, tx, 2 rem. What am I typing? And text align center, something like that. There we go. And we'll probably also want to do color magenta. And then we want to update this silly thing by giving it an ID. ID, it's clone view pointer, right? And then we'll do let const pointer equals resolve selector, like that. And we'll probably want to do negative transforms here. Width, height, so it's 0, 0, right? Something like transform translate -50%, -50%, and that should be that. Okay, now I should be able to do something like this. Dot style dot left equals msg dot x. Style dot right equals msg dot y. If we do that, oh yeah, and I needed to do something. I remember now. One of the problems was that the browsers could be different shapes and sizes. So what I did was I made the cursor position relative to the upper left corner of the puzzle board, scaled relative to the puzzle board. So if I move the cursor here, it would be there, and then outside the board, it would just be relatively the same kind of thing. Ah, okay. We'll see that at the top. So left, top, not right. You dummy. You silly dummy. There we go. Look at that. All right. And now, okay, it's gonna get harder and harder to fit this all on the stream. But you can see that circle? Now it's kind of jerky and laggy. So part of it is how often I'm sending messages here. So if I get down to 20 times per second with a minimum of 25 milliseconds, and then I'll definitely need to throttle on the server as well. All right. It's still a bit juddery, but I think that's smooth enough. I don't think we need to get... What I could do is I could interpolate on the client, sort of video game stuff, kind of just like, hey, instead of jumping to the new position, we'll kind of lerp to it. In fact, I might be able to do this with a CSS animation. This is animation, left, top, slide. Ah, you know what? Instead of left and top, maybe we just transform it. Left, top, bottom, instead of using CS transform. You know what? If I do, instead of doing the transform -50, -50, right? Gosh, this is annoying. Instead of doing this, if I do margin minus... I don't think I can use 50% here. Minus 50%. 0, 0. I don't think that works because I think that's not relative to the element itself. Shoop. No, this one needs to refresh. What's happening? Wait, which one is the host? Is this the host? Oh, this is the host. Okay. Where's our thing? What's going on with you? Where are you? Left. Top. Absolute. Margin. Minus 50. Yeah. So it's the... Yeah, we can't have minus 50% margins here. That's why I usually use transforms here. But since this is just a quick proof of concept, we're just going to have one RAM. And I think if we're using these kind of absolute units, it should still work. I don't know why that's here. Okay, unpin. So refresh, refresh. Don't remember which one was the host and which one was the thingamabob here. Here we go. There it is. Yeah. If I go up to the 0 and to here, margin, it's top right, bottom left. So so we need that at the end here. And then instead of using this, we should be able to use transform. The transform equals translate xy message.x message.y. I don't know if I have to put px here. It always bugs me. I always don't want to. So I do this and this and look at where this thing is. All right, that's not happening. Transform equals... Oh, wait, did I not refresh that? Is it not translate XY? I'm not sure. Because it could just be, hey, this is an invalid value, so I'm just going to throw it out the window. Oh, and I need space for it. Oh, man, I don't have space. Oh, okay. Translate. You know what? I can just manually put that in here, and it'll kind of validate it from your transform. Translate. Nope. Nope. Translate XY. Okay, XY is not a thing then. Okay, if I just do this and I say 100, 100 without PX, it doesn't like that either. Okay. All right, so that's just got to be PX. That's got to be PX, and it's just translate without the XY. I don't know. I work too much with XYZ things. With the screenshot is because of touch through. If I press on screenshot at the bottom of the settings menu, then it's lining up with the cancel button on. Oh, that's annoying. That's very annoying. All right, I'm gonna put that on the to-do list. So annoying. Sorry. To do screenshot, click through issue to cancel button on Android. Man, I've had that issue so many times, and I always think I fixed it, and then it's still works. I'm sure I fixed it so many times as well. All right, it's, oh man, I hate that bollocks that they kind of have time delayed multiple events, and they're just like, they're trying to fake it, and then you have to anti-fake it, and then counter-fake it, and everybody's faking everything, and it's just such a mess. All right, that works. That works. So, yeah, top edge, right. All right, so let's try to make these units relative to the board. Man, I wish I had that code. I don't know where it is. I can go back to an old backup, basically, but I've been looking at it, like, it's not in a branch. Maybe it's in an old branch. Maybe it's in an old... maybe it's in the stash? Parameter pen, seasonal layout, cosmetic select, better board boundaries, edge lines, replay, grouping, fix, pen tool, custom layout tool system, line tools. Man, I have to get rid of these old branches that are no longer relevant. Letter polish, parameter pen, CDC imports, Storkel. No. All right. I guess we'll have to figure it out from scratch, which means we need boundaries off the board, right? But we also need it on the sending side, and right now maybe I won't actually update it after a resize. No, I'll just do it live. It's fine. It's not a huge thing, and we'll fix that later. So, but we definitely want a function here that does this conversion. Thanks for figuring that out, Handyman. Yeah, that one is annoying because you're like, it's always so weird, and you're like, what the hell's going on? You know, it doesn't make sense. And then eventually, like, that's why it was working on mine, because the button just happens to be in a slightly different position, you know? All right, so we'll do a function board relative. We'll just do it to board and then from board relative equals xy. Boom, right. So we're going to do update position, update pause, and then we're going to do xy. And then we're just gonna do that here, and this there. And this is, I think, our host, yes. So to board relative. So what we need for board relativity is we need to get bounds. We'll go framework.app.svg renderer. And I'm gonna use autocomplete. Get content bounds. Like that. All right. Now, the problem with that is it doesn't actually get us the position. It just gets us the scaling. Thanks, Handyman. Are you? Oh, yeah, you're on the YouTube channel. All right, no worries. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so we have bounds. Now, besides bounds, we also need the board position. And I think we might be able to pull that... wait. These bounds are... If I do... Sorry about not finishing my words here. If I do get SVG or SVG elem dot get BB, that should get me... is it not get bounding box? SVG elem. Is it not get BB? Oh, bbox. Dot get bbo ox. Does that get us xy? No. It gets the bounding box. Can I get the actual position here as well? So bounding box options. An option dictionary used to control which parts of the elements are included in the bounding box. The available options are fill, stroke, should be included in the bounding box. Ooh, okay, wait a second. Yeah. We kind of want to have these all set to true. Const bbox equals fill true, stroke true, markers, yes, markers true. We don't want things cut off. Clipped. The bounding box should be clipped. Defaults to false. What does that mean? Indicating that the bounding box should be clipped. I don't know what that means. But if I do these things here, something like that, and go, you know, If I go screenshot and I go trim white space, because it's very possible now that it will actually yeah. Ah, wait, I can just open Photopea. Oh gosh, I have too much. I'm drunk with power. So if I go zoom in, this should be perfect. Now I'm currently adding that 1.5 thing. I'm basically adding 1.5 pixels because the grid lines are 3 pixels wide, or 3 units or whatever. But I'm hoping that these options that I just discovered would actually let me do away with that, because it felt a bit hacky. And of course, in the future, if I ever change this, it won't work anymore. So if I remove these now, because basically without this, the trimmed version would cut the outer boundary lines too narrowly. So if I do this, and now I go to here, and I do screenshot, and I go trimmed white space, and I open that in Photopea, and I zoom in. No, so that's still, it's still, you see, it cuts the outer boundary lines in half. Did I maybe not refresh this? Let's do that again. One more try. Screenshot. And trim. Yeah, I can already see here that the line gets thinner. So this doesn't do what I thought it would do. Fill true, stroke true, markers true. What does it say? Fill true, stroke. A Boolean value that the stroke should be included in the bounding box defaults default. I have a feeling that there's a problem with it not figuring out what the stroke is because of how the style sheets work and so on. Or maybe because clipped is true. That is a possibility. I still don't understand what clipped actually does, which is always a bit of a problem. No, that doesn't seem to do it. So I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna leave that in, but I'm gonna put this back, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing to squeeze in here. I'm just gonna sneak that in and hope for the best. The markers are interesting because that's like arrowheads and things like that. So, but what were we looking for? We were looking for, yeah, not the boundary box. So get HTML element position. There's like bounds or something. JavaScript get element bounds. Get bounding client rect. That's the one. So we should be able to do. Nope, not here. Was it here? If I do this, I think that'll get us an X and Y as well. Okay. So we'll get content bounds. And okay, well. The thing is, I don't know if rect is reliable in terms of width and height. So I'm a bit loath to rely on it too much. We need our server view. All right, I'm getting a little confused now. So let's put them back together. And I do this, right. So we have a rect and we have bounds. If I compare them, height 576. Yeah, so this is, okay, so this is the translated view. Which is actually what we really want, isn't it? So we want our mouse position to be board relative, or at least board pixel relative, right? So the decision is the board 1 unit, you know, is that from 0 to 1, or is the board, you know, 64 pixels per cell, which is kind of what the internal measurements are. What's the pros and cons? The pros are, if it's, You know, board relative makes the most sense because in the future, maybe I need to synchronize positions between different sized boards. And that's, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, cell relative might make actually the most sense. Not entirely sure how I would calculate that, considering how the underlying, what the situation. You know what? Sorry, my brain is running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Let's see. The scale. Do we know what the scale is outside of the things that calculate the scale? Do we record this anywhere? It's in the transform, but I don't know if we're keeping it anywhere else. So we might have to extract the scale. So, so if I go here, oh geez, if I go here and I go style.transform, really? 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 Board element. Oh no, it's not the SVG element. Okay, board element. So if we do this, then boom, board style transform dot match trans scale 0 through 9 and a full stop. And we'll probably want to ignore any white space. And we want to pull whatever digits we have in here out. Like that. We'll just grab the first one in case it's a doubles thingamajigs, but I don't think that's gonna be the case here. Inward regular expression. Star. \s0. There we go. Do I need to escape? Yeah, I need to escape the brace. And it's gonna be that. And it's gonna be parse float. Boom. All right. So const scale equals boom. Oh dear. Const re scale equals re scale. I'm gonna put these out here. Const board lm equals, because this is gonna execute every frickin' mouse movement, so it could be quite a lot. All right, then we'll probably want to do this stuff as well. Const svg element equals framework. Whoops, whoopsie daisies. So that's app svg renderer svg element 2, 3 closed. All right, and then we need this guy separately, so we can do this. All right, and then we'll have scale, and now we should be able to kind of relate them, right? So we have top here. So we want to compare the width to the bounds.width wire scale. So we'll do bounds.width times scale. Just to make sure, because I don't know if the scale, like if this relates it with the negative parts of the puzzle. So that's going to be a bit tricky. 319 width 337. So you see there's a slight discrepancy here, but it could be because of margins being calculated different. Basically, what I'm trying to figure out right now is if I can use these or not. Okay, so right now, what I'm thinking is if I subtract the left of the this rectangle, right? So, excuse me. So we have our x position. We have x minus rect.left. So that would be origining the left. So sort of our mouse cursor should be around 0 here. To board relative. Let's just get rid of all the other per movement spam. Just a lot of it, right? Yes, okay. I need to actually. So 4, 4, 10. So that's 10. 4. Okay, that makes sense because the actual 0 of the SVG is not on the black line. It's kind of around here somewhere. Okay, so then the question becomes, if we go over here, 3, 2, 8. So 3, 2, 8, is that our width here? Right, width, 3, 2, 8. Yeah, it's very close, so I'm guessing it'll get us to here. Okay. Now, if I want to scale it, oh my god, my brain. So we have the left position here, and we now need to figure out the width of the board in terms of number of cells, excluding the negative and positive things outside the board, right? So we need the width of the board in cells, right? So rows. So it should really be framework.app.puzzle.calls. And that should give us a number, right? So, so columns is this. And we have puzzle in here. But we also have SVG renderer dot cell size. Right. So we have this times cell size. And that should be the scaled number. So in theory, we also need to multiply this by scale. And then it'll give us some other magical number, right? So calls 319, scale 319. Okay, that's a good sign. So if I go to my test puzzle, which is only 3 across, but yeah, we'll look into that afterwards. Okay, so this is our board, our vertical scale. So we need to subtract this, which gets us our 0 base, right? Okay, so we'll need so we'll do a horiz scale equals this, and we'll do a hor scale and a vert scale. Horts and vert. All right, and that's rows like that. So it's gonna be like this. And we're just gonna stick these in here. So then we'll have boom, x. So it's x minus rect left, and then finally x minus rect left divided by. One thing I'm not sure is if this gives us the actual 0 position on cells with negatives. Well, we'll worry about that later. And we'll just divide this by Hort's scale. Is that what we actually want to do? Wait a second, no. We want to divide it by the number of... So not multiplied by scale, actually. Basically, how many cell pixels there are. So without times scale. Right? And I think we can do the same thing with y now. Dot top y minus rect dot top divided by vert scale. And then these we don't need anymore. So now on the left side here, x should be around 0 and then should go to negative. The only annoying thing is we're getting the edge of the SVG, not the edge of the actual grid. But we can get the edge of the grid, right? We know where the grid is, because the grid is here. So maybe we don't want that. Maybe we want... maybe we want this dot left or whatever. So framework dot app dot svg renderer dot svg lm dot style dot left dot get computed get no computed style. Wait, how does that work? MDN computed style. I feel like I'm running in circles, right? I want to know where this board is being positioned, right? And this board is being positioned using CSS relative to... So let's find out. Board, style, transform, scale. Okay. Yeah, the position of the board... no. It's here. So we should... Okay, well, never mind. We should be able to just look at left then. So style dot left. Except it's not on the SVG. It's the board itself. Okay, that makes more sense, right? So it's board element. So board element dot style dot left. I think that's what we actually care about. Hey, Phil. Are you, or are you summoning him somehow? Rage mode pigeon. Rage. All right, let me see. Is this a SudokuCon meeting happening right now? Oh, it's probably a Zoom call. All right. So what was I looking at? Bounce dot board element, right? So if I go here, board X is 49. Board element is 572 px on the left. 572 on the board element. That doesn't make any sense. Ah, wait. Is that scaled? Oh, jeez. Times scale. Oh, man. So, board element. Nope. Parse. Flip. That should strip the px, I believe. Board element 317. X is 408. 317. So the board is here. The board has a built-in, but is it 16? Is it is it just standard 16 pixels? I need another test puzzle with outside stuff. And I need it on one of the SudokuCon test IDs. So I'm gonna have to make it. So we have SudokuCon test 2. So maybe something like this. Or maybe something with a little bit on a couple of different sides with slightly different widths and heights. So this one. And I need to be able to get puzzle ID. Boom. Nope. Framework dot app dot source puzzle. Can I convert this? You know what? I think it's faster if I just grab a new one from puzzle testing submissions. Sudoku testing submissions, yeah. I'm sure there's a puzzle in here with some outside clues that I can use. Okay, here's one with clues on 2 sides. Ideally something with clues on all 4 sides, but with slightly different like font size or whatever. Alternatively, I'll just grab this one. Let's just grab this one. So we can just grab this from here. Actually, you know what? If I do this, I think it'll normalize it for me. Does it normalize it for me? Yes. So let's just grab that. Stick that in our test 2 here. I don't think I need whatever was here before. Now, if we go to test 02, right? So now I'm looking for board element left versus X. So X is 412. Now X is 438. Board element left is 585 or 300 if scale. So both of those are just not true. This is so hard. Why is it so hard? All right. Right, X is 437. What's the closest thing to 437? So X 404. So the X on the rect is 404, which is probably over here. 404, 431. So and the bounds left, top left. So the bounds are scaled. So what if? Okay, let's reduce the stuff here a little bit. So what if I take, so the bounds dot left, so bounds dot left times scale, so that should be less than this minus 56 then, and then we'll add rect dot left. So rect dot left plus bounce left. So the bounce left, I'm hoping, is giving us the distance from the edge of this SVG to the edge of the actual area. So 377, and our X is 431. So bounce left minus, because the bounds are negative. So 430, 439. Shit. I thought we had something. We had something beautiful. 435, 430. So it's like here. It still has that extra bit of padding included. I think it's probably the 16, but scaled. So if it's bounds left plus 16 scaled 422. 42244. 422 is here. If it's minus 16, 436, 438. Okay, that seems quite good. But I feel like I'm frickin' guessing here. The 16 I'm taking from these spurious frickin' viewbox. Or I just pull the viewbox minuses out here. Let me see. So the so bounds dot left. Let's just look at only the left, so I don't get too confused here. So bounds dot left. Bounds left 404. So bounds left 0. Okay. Now the viewbox stuff, I just analyzed that earlier today. I believe it was for the screenshot, right? So that should be I think I did that inside puzzle tools, or did I remove that? No, 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 never mind. Ah, but I didn't split it out. All right, let's get the view box. Let's get the view box. All right, unst view box equals svglm dot get attribute view box. View box. Dot split spacious dot map val parse float val. And we should be able to output the view box here. Now, the question is, if I multiply the view box left edge... why was not connecting? Let's see, view box minus 64. So if I subtract that, i.e. invert it and add it to bounce.left, sorry, rect.left. So viewbox left should be 0, right? And if I take that and multiply it by scale, and then I duplicate this and I add this, what do we end up with? I feel like I'm down in the weeds once again, doing little nitty-gritty details. But, you know, this was actually a bit of a eureka moment the first time I built this. That kind of what made it all work better. 371. No, we need to subtract this because it's a negative value. It goes the other way. Up. Yeah, the reconnection code is obviously not very robust. Rect.left 436 434 436. Okay, that looks really good. That looks really good. So let left equal. So I'm just going to use this as my left value. And top equals rect.top minus viewbox 1. And x minus left. X minus left. Okay. And didn't quite grab it there. So our x. So we're looking at we're looking at this row here, right? So the first number is the raw x coordinate of the mouse. The second number is x relative to this edge, and then the last number is with scaling. So it should be around 0 here. Right, so 2, 0, yeah, it looks good. Now on this side, on the right edge, our x, the second value of x, which is the x normalized to the edge of the board, is 281. 281, and our scale, 281. So now we need a number that's 281, basically. So these horizontal and vertical scales, do they come to 281? No. If I multiply them by scale, 280. So around 280 is our magic number right now at this zoom level. 296. 296. Does that make sense? I'm over here. It could. That could be it. That could be it. All right. So if I'm over here now, the third value is 0. That doesn't make sense. The third value on the x row. So we're over here, it's 0. And then, oh yeah, no, but it's not 0. It scales from 0 to 1. Okay, so we don't actually want to scale it like that. We want to scale it relative. right now it's board relative, right? So 0 is the left side of the board and 1 would be the right side of the board. What I want the right side of the board to be is actually the number of columns times the cell size, right? So from here to here, the mouse should go 64 units. So after dividing by this, I actually want to multiply by this. Which means we really just want to multiply by scale. Right? Or divide by scale. How does it cancel out? So if I go all the way over here, 151. No. So if I divide by scale, it should go to 576 or something thereabouts, right? Yeah, 583. And if I kind of hit the line, 576. Okay. So that's actually good. That's what we want. So if I do this as well for y, and if we get rid of this, it's going to be slightly less confusing. And then the proof in the pudding will be I'm just trying to think. Yeah, we don't want different horizontal and vertical scales anyways, right? So that's fine. The proof in the pudding will be for weird shaped boards, right? And make sure that makes sense. So we are x there, y there. So y at the top should be around 0, and x at the top left corner and in the bottom right corner. Yeah. And if we use, let us create another one. And let us grab, there is one that's really oddly shaped. This one. But we don't have the data. Wait, we do have the data somewhere. It's gotta be in here somewhere. It's gotta be in here. Preview response. So if I take this and puzzle loader dot compress, save compress. I do this, right? Like that. No. Wait. Not safe. Not puzzle loader. Oh my god. Okay. Puzzle loader dot decompress is remote parse puzzle data, resolve puzzle data, save compress, save decompress. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so load f puzzle dot compress puzzle. That should get us the CTC data, right? The SCL data. All right, so if I take SCL for Sam Kappelman lines and put that in here. No. No. I'm trying to remember. This is puzzle zipped. Cannot read region length. Get no Russian regions. I think this is not JSON. No, it's not JSON data because it's puzzle zipped. God damn it. So if I go, just get me, I do get, okay, if I just go back to here, and if I go framework.app.source puzzle, and I'll do JSON.stringify, and then I'll do puzzle zipper.zip. Is that right? And then I'll do load fp f puzzle dot compress puzzle. We'll do that. Does that work? Looks like different. it's slightly different. It's the same length. Does that work? Yes! Yes! All right. So we'll just put that in here and we'll save this as test 02, test 03. And now we can go to test 03 and x should be around 0 here. And then over here, x should be 1276. So if I do 1276 divided by 64, it's 19.9. So 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yes, that is correct. Finally. Hey guys, hey tubes. Beep, beep. One sec. Let me switch on some on for you just in case you forgot. True. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to wind this down. So let's get the cursor cloning finished. So we've basically cracked this now. So we've got a cross-browser scale that should help out. And the reason I'm doing this is because, like, with streamers especially, you don't know what size or shape their browser window is, right? But it matters. The most important thing is where the cursor is relative to the board. So by making it all board relative, it does, like, we don't, you know, they don't have to resize everything to be matching or whatever. And they might not, you know, like if somebody has the controls underneath, then if the host is using the controls, you might not actually see which buttons they're pressing. But that's not the important part, right? And in fact, in the future, we might even not transmit data that's outside of the board bounds, basically. All right. So this should now be our scaled XY position. And we should be able to just return this. So if I just take this and I do return these and these like that. I don't know where that P came from. All right. And now we can get rid of that. We need that. We don't need these. We don't need these. Right. Do we need viewbox? Yes. Do we need bounds? No. Do we need rect? Yes. And yeah. Do we need scale? Yes, definitely. And then things like scale, for example, we can probably pre-calculate. You know, a lot of this, all this stuff we should really be able to pre-calculate in as a future. All right, so if I do this now and I do this and I move, I get I get the translated. Now we need the opposite. We need from board relative. We need it both ways, obviously. But hopefully now that we have the principle, we should be able to figure this one out relatively easily. So if I take this, do this from, and I'll spread this out like that. Like that. So we need to now multiply by scale. So x times scale plus left. Right? That's the reverse. And since it's like this, we don't need these anymore. So y times scale plus top. And now, after this double transformation, we should be back in the original coordinates. So if I look at these down here, 2, 3, 4, yes. Okay, cool. That's already done. Sweet. And we can kind of simplify this a bit. This. and stick that in here. And I think the only difference is this part down here. Everything else is identical. I forget sometimes just because it reconnects, it doesn't actually load the latest version of the code. And one thing I'm tempted to do is to get rid of the fractional parts. I think 64 positions per cell is enough resolution. So it'll be slightly off, but since we're sending absolute positions instead of relative, we should be okay. And on the transformation the other way around, I'm not sure because I'm just thinking because if somebody has it on a very small screen, it might make sense. But you know what? It's just for indication, right? We're not doing any kind of calculations on this. This is just like, hey, this is where the person is looking at, right? All right. So now the trick is we translate it one way before we send it, and we translate the other way before we get it back, right? So mxmy, and we'll do let pos equals to board relative mxmy, and it's just pos 0 pos 1. So it now should get sent this way. All right. And so we need to open on the demo client. Nope, this one. Which one's our demo client? Nope, we're just gonna make a new one. So here, we're gonna get rid of the host key. And if I do this now, yeah. So you can see near the edge, it's almost correct. And now we need to do the translation the other direction. So it translates through, and at least, you know, it's all relatively benign because it doesn't have 10 digits of decimal accuracy in there. So update position and clone view client. So we have message X, message Y. So we'll do something similar to up here. So we'll do let pos from board relative MSGX, MSGY, right? And then we should be able to just stick it in here. Pos 0 and pos 1, and we don't need to output these anymore. Like that. And this is our client, right? So refresh both sides. And nope. Absolutely not right. So minus 104 gets translated to 163. So if we go to here, so that's actually okay. So here it's correct. Oop. What happened here? Poop. There's something weird going on down here. It's very stuttery. Is it not throttling properly? I don't know, it's so strange. It feels like I'm not handling X and Y correctly here. Left top, X, Y, left top. Left, 0, 1, 0, 1. Pause 0, pause 1, pause 0, pause 1. What the heck? What's going on here? So we have this coming in. Let me output it on both sides, right? So we have we'll do pointer send or pointer set, and we'll do mx my pause, and then pointer get oh yy. There it is. All right, silly small things. Okay, refresh. So okay, that looks good. I want to point here. Yeah, all right. So for example, the idea is now if this is scaled super small, I can still point accurately to the same position. So wait. So you can see I point at the cell and it's at the cell. Now what happens outside of the board, obviously, like for example, here's the end of the board, but here there's more space, right? What happened? It's not tracking anymore. What happened? What happened? One sec. So let's get rid of this. This, all right. So got this going on here. Still works. Still seems to work. All right. And it's not too crazy spammy. Oh yes, and we want to try on another client here as well. So if I put this one up here and this one down below at a different scale, so in either scale now it should work. Yeah, oh, that's kind of satisfying that works correctly now. So I can, oh, look at this, and I'll look at this, and I'll look at that. All right. Yes. All right, X marks the spot, right? So we still need to reduce the spamminess in the logs, obviously. But for now, I guess we're just gonna assume this works. All right. And on the server, we want to clean that up a little bit as well, because like it's not practical as it is. No, that's not the server. It's puzzle tools. Did we change anything in puzzle tools? No. So puzzle server. So close client. So the client's closed because they timed out, but they didn't get a close notification. That's a bit annoying. All right, we don't want to output all this information. So how much stuff? Handle message pointer, message one. We'll probably need to indent these. All right. And if I reconnect these guys, refresh this one. Pointer set. Didn't I remove that? Did I not save that? I guess I didn't save that. All right. Pointer get. I thought pointer set and pointer is still freaking spamming because I'm looking at the wrong thing again. Pointer set. Oh, still didn't save that. Oh, geez. All right. Here we go. So, all right, that works pretty well. Could I make it smoother? Oh, yes, I want to look into that. If I do CSS animation, what are we animating here? We're changing transform animation. This animation transform. I think I can just kind of set that. Like I can just tell it, hey, smoothly animate transform. CSS animate. animate, transform. Animate using sensor, smoothly transform. Translate. CS transition. CS transition transform. Can I transition property? So if I do this, I think we gave this clone part. You know what? Let's do this. Let's put this in the style sheet up here somewhere. Yes, we have style sheets, right? So I can just do this. Clone view pointer. Like that. And then we'll just do this a little bit less annoying and messy. Boom. Width, left, top, line height. Oh, line height goes in the same aspect here in the same part. Some colors. Here we go. And then we'll close that. And then down here, this doesn't have to be such a monster anymore. All right. And now we do add this bit here. Now, transition, we probably need some timing information. Otherwise, it probably just won't just work, right? Right? In fact, let's make it even harsher. So we'll wait at least 100, 200. And now see what we can do with this. Transition. So we can do this, transition, yada yada, 3 seconds, for example. So we can do transition, transform, 0.1 seconds. So 0.1 seconds. It's kind of slow. Yeah, you see. Okay. All right, that's one way of doing it, I suppose, because it's going to be always straight line, right? And one of the annoying things is, like, I can't speed it up or something. Well, I also reduced the update frequency, so that could be the bigger part of it. So if I do this now, like ideally, 10 updates per second should be enough. Yeah, we'll do it 0.1 seconds, so that's 100 milliseconds, right? Should it be ease in or ease out? Ease in, ease out, ease out. So it should be ease out, I think. So it should start out quickly. Yeah, that looks much smoother. Now the question is, can I slow down the update frequency and have it still work acceptably well? So if I do something like this. Yeah, now you kind of, like if I'm looking at the left side when I'm moving my mouse, it kind of feels odd because it feels a little stuttery. I mean, there's no like spline interpolation or anything like that. So there's only so much you can do. Now, if I do the animation at 0.5, I don't know if that's even a thing that happens with... Oh, that feels really smooth, actually. That feels really smooth. And you can, if you look at the bottom one compared to the top one, you can see how much more jittery the bottom cursor representation is because it doesn't have that transition smoothing. There we go. All right, that's nice. That looks nice. All right, cool. So that is like in a weird way, that's kind of the hardest part because that's like continuous movement. And the cool thing is we can now connect at any time, and I believe I can. Now I don't know what happens if I add a second host. I need a second mouse, but in theory, they both control it. They don't get their own cursor, though. So in the future, maybe I can even enable multiple hosts on the same puzzle. And then we're kind of slowly going back to the sort of, what's the word? The collaborative solving tool, right? This is where I kind of want to end up eventually. I mean, for live use, it definitely needs to have a much more robust reconnect system and all that. Let's do one last thing before I finish off and see what we can do in terms of capturing actions on the board and transitioning and transmitting those. Is there anything here? Well, no. Let's keep it all locally confined this function for now. So this would be something on the host. The same way I'm listening to mouse movements, I'm gonna add app.on act handle act. Right? And I don't remember if act and action are two separate ones, actually. So if I do this, like this, and for action separately. And I don't know if I need to. I might have to listen to for these on puzzle. App is not really. Yeah, I think that one triggers on puzzle, not on action on app. All right. Puzzle, and I think it's act. Maybe it's action. I should look it up instead of guessing. Act. Okay, it's act. It's not action. So if I do this, right? So we have the mouse thingamajig. This goes here, and we'll do handle act. And act just has two arguments. All right, and it's basically act and action. So we can do this, act, action, and then we'll just add that in here. And this is also, we don't need to re-add this handler. Oop, const declaration handle act equals, here we go. Refresh. Oh, maybe it is action. And I just didn't update the console logging for the other one. No? What the heck? Huh. What's going on here? What is going on here? Didn't I just... Alright. I don't know. Did I not just test this? So if I just do this, and then do this for both act and actions, will that work? Apparently not. What the frick? Puzzle.log puzzle.on. Maybe it wasn't puzzle after all? Huh? We're definitely... Wait, what? None of this is happening. 1 second, what's going on here? Did I kill something here? Or is this one of those things that it's getting late and I should, What? Oh, maybe it is... Maybe it is, console.log. Nope. Wait, localhost, feature stream tools, stream tool, preview. None of this is executing all of a sudden? Okay. The frick? Did I disable it? Did I... Oh my god. When did that happen? Ah. Alright. Roll back. So we already have an act handler thing going on here. So we already... Whoops. F1 was not the key. So... Yeah. Yeah, let's skip this for now. So act, not action. And we have handle act as well. So now suddenly it's all working again. Okay. Everything is back in its place. Sometimes I look at my microphone and make sure I'm not muted for the last hour by mistake. That does seem to happen quite easily. All right, so if I just send it straight through, right? So I could literally just do this.send msg cmd act and just stick it in there, right? We can just do this. And I click, click, clickety, click, right? And then down here, it'll say, well, I got the pointer. Command act, okay. And then here, just like we handled the pointer command, handle message act, right? And handle message pointer, message, handle message, handle clone view message, because I believe this is the same handler, pointer and act, right? In fact, I can just do it like this, and then we'll end up here. Handle clone view message. Handle message clone. Kill me now. All right, there gotta be a better way of naming these things. Geez. Handle clone view init. Makes more sense. All right. So if I do this now, boom, 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 boom. Right? Now I go here, get my console up there, and I do this, and then we get unknown command act. Great. Great. We might even do this for now. And then on the receiving end, we'll have case act. Now the question is, console.log act msg. I guess we can literally just post this action, right? So we can go to script.js, right? Let's do this. Find the relevant location in the puzzle code, which is somewhere around here. Exec or act? Act or exec? This exec action. Act. What's the difference between act and action? Puzzle.act, msg.act. I don't know if that'll work. Maybe. All right, so if I do this, and if I do this, And if I do it over here, where's the other one? And refresh this one. Now, the only problem is we don't have the initial state sort of thing going on, right? But if I go back to test one over here, and let's do something like this. And let's get rid of the timestamps. Do I need to disable them 3 times now? Timestamps. Timestamps! Here. I do this, right? And do this. And now I'll do this, and here, and here. And we'll restart, and restart, and restart. Right. And here we'll actually switch to the right puzzle. And now we can do something like this, right? Now we'll just solve the puzzle, right? That's how it works. So for example, we go in here, 2, 4, nope, not 2, 6, 8, 9. And I believe not 7. Where I got the 7 from? What's missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So no 4, 6 here. So that's 8, 9. So that's a 6, and that's a 4. And then here, we'll do 3, 5, 7, 9. No 3, 5 here. No, so that's a 5, and that's a 3. And I remember something about this. Don't remember what I remember. This doesn't have a 1 here. Are they all the same length? All right, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So I'm just gonna fully pencil mark them. It is just a demonstration of the technology. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. And then wherever we don't, like, for example, here, no 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, but also no 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, no 5, 6s, so that's 8, 9. And then no 5 here, no 3 here, no 5 here. No 1, no 2, no 3, 3, 4, 5, that's a 6. So that becomes an 8, 9, or 2. 2. That's a 7. That's a 9. Okay, here we still have some options. 3, 4. All right, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6. That's just a 7, 6, 5, 4. Oop, 3, 1. 5. Oh, that can't. No, that can't be a 5. We're going the other way. That's gotta be a 1 here. All right, are we still? All right, don't know if we're good. Hope we're good. Don't have too much time left, guys, so we're just gonna dry run this very quickly, and then I'll probably clean it up tomorrow so I can upload it as a demo somewhere for the SudokuCon people. And in case you were wondering, SudokuCon is a conference we're planning for quite a while out. But in a couple of weeks' time, we're gonna do a fundraiser live stream, 24-hour live stream, to raise funds to basically get it all set up, pay the lawyers, get the trademarks and all that sort of thing. And then hopefully we're well on our way to organizing a full-on get-together in Boston in 2025. I was hoping for 2024, but that's not gonna happen, unfortunately. All right, so 3, 4, 5. All right, that goes here. And these 3 are 1, 2, and 7. The 2 here. These 2 are 7, 8. All right, and this one is, oh, that's gotta be a 6. And this gotta be a 3 or 5. And these 2 are 3, 5, and 6. And these 2 are 2 and 8. And those are resolved, and that's probably the end of it all to a 8, 7. Right. So obviously, in this mode right now, it's super brittle, right? So for example, if I undo as a client, it's no longer in sync with the host and things like that. So it'll probably have to do either kind of blocking input on the client or have like an out of sync thing. So like when it goes out of sync, if you're pressing something, you no longer follow it, and then you get a button to kind of start following again or something like that. I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to put too much time into kind of making it super smooth and stuff because I don't have a lot of time to get this ready for the stream. And now I'm realizing I haven't been looking at the other boards and they haven't been operating at all. What the heck? Did they get disconnected ages ago? What the hell? This one was along for the ride for some time. Ah, geez. That was supposed to be a test. All right. Let's test it with 2 days. Oh, I solved it earlier. Let's solve it again. And I'm going to stick this into one of my test puzzles here. So we'll create another one. Stick it in here. I'll save that as test 04. Right? So make this test 04. Oh, not you. I think I don't need this anymore. So test 04 and test 04. And we want to refresh. Sorry, restart and restart and restart. And I am actually going to change the zoom level here and bring this over a little bit. And I think I'm actually gonna reload these again. All right, so if I look at this now, okay, so that works. So 1, 5, 9, okay. And these are same parity, so this has got to be 3, 7, right? So that's a 7, that's a 3. These are 1, 2, 3. So these two need to be the same parity. So the 2 needs to be there, and that's got to be 5, 7, or 9. And then these are 7, 8, 9 with 8 there, 9, 7, and that's going to be 1, 3, and 5. And then these are the even numbers around the edges here. Are we still in sync? No. We're out of sync down here. Why? Why are we out of sync? I didn't get a disconnect message. Also, why does it say unknown CMT? Ah! Wait a second. Why does it say unknown CMT? Unknown command. Find unknown. Oh. Act. What's going on here? Let's bring our super spamminess back, because I'm kind of concerned now. What? All right, let's restart again. I mean, this obviously, you know, was a quick hack together, and if you remember how long it took us just to do the mouse position, but they're not getting past over. Why are we not in this thing anymore? So we are down here. So we're updating 2 clients, right? And I want to see when it stops updating 2 clients. So I'm looking at the bottom right corner where it says update WSC client, right? It doesn't do the skip host thing. And now it lost a client. What the frick? Why did it close all these clients? Oh, they're all timing out, and I've extended the ping duration way too far. God damn it. All right. 1 second. The timeout is update interval milliseconds. Check ping check interval ping check timeout. We'll do that 60 seconds, and then the pinging on the client ping interval ping interval is every 30 seconds. Yeah, obviously, if we're pinging every 30 seconds and we're timing them out after 30 seconds, that's not gonna work. And that's why I didn't notice, because it took 30 seconds for that to happen. All right, one last try, and then I'm gonna end the stream because it is so late out here. All right, so that's 3 or 7. Can't be 3 because of the 3 up top. And it's gotta be 3 here. And these are our even numbers. And so far, we're still in sync. All right, so 2 gotta be here, 1, 3, 8 gotta be here, 9, 7, 2, 4, 8, and this is 2, 4, 8, 8. So that's a 6, 2, 6, no 2, no 8, no 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. Can only be a 4, 8, 6, and 4. This is 1, 3, 5, 7, not a 9, and not a 7 apparently. And then this would be 5, 7, 9. Okay. All right. And where are we in the synchronicity? So far, it looks still pretty much in sync. Okay. That's a good sign. 4, 8, 6, 6. And from the other direction, 3s, 3s, and 3s. 5, 6. Oh, quite a few 6s. 6, 6, 6. Okay. 7. 7 here. Yeah, the whole getting out of sync thing, probably one sort of workaround is, I mean, obviously there needs to be better connectivity checking, but there needs to be stuff like give me the full replay data on reconnection. And I'm thinking about kind of splitting it up, sort of like 5, because I'm doing snapshots every 50 steps, so it could like request them slowly, so it doesn't like download a megabyte of data suddenly, you know. And the other thing would be to kind of, well, with each action, we should say, okay, hey, this is action number 170, and then we should check, hey, we are only at action 160. Can you please send us actions 160 through 170? That kind of thing, right? And then kind of synchronize it more carefully. Like, for example, these 3 cannot be even because we don't have 3 even digits left. So the 6 has got to be here. And I believe 6, 8, yeah. So these 3 can't be even here. So that the 4 has got to be here. And these got to be odd. It can't be 5 and 7. So it's 1, 3, and 9. And then up here, they cannot be 3 and 5. So it's 1, 7, and 9. The 1 here. And the 9 not here. All right. And then this one is 7, 8. And then this one is 1, 2. All right. And what else? 2 is going here. Do we have any more lines? 7, 8, 3, 7, 9. So this could still be even or odd. Probably we're pretty constrained in here. 5, 9. Yeah, 9, 3, and 3, and 9. And I guess the same thing is happening here with 1, 5, 7, and 9. 5 is here, 9 is here, 7 is here, 1 is here, and 9 is there. And that also gives us this 5 and this 1. And now I think we'll just fill in these. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. That, like that, and like that. Similarly, we'll put 3. And are we still in? We are still in sync. That's a good sign. That is a good sign. All right, and then these 3 are 6, 8, 2, 6. On the stream, I'm just realizing you don't see the glory of this at all. So if I switch these over to the other side, yeah, now you'll see it much better. Sorry about that. I'm a bit uber mega tired currently because I've been working so much. It feels like my skin is on fire, and it is not a nice sensation, I'll tell you that. All right, I'm just gonna get rid of these. So this is 6, 8 pair, and this would be the 5 or the 7, of which it is the former. 2 and 6 and 3 and 9, 1, 5. All right, of these 2, we are missing a 2 and a 4. And here we're missing 6 and 8. All right, we're missing a 2, and we're missing a 7 and a 9. 7 and 9. And here we're missing a 1, a 7 and an 8. And that's that. And we didn't get the pop-up on these guys because I'm bypassing the execution. So now if I go back here, oh wow, even undo, okay. No, yeah, even the undo works. Sweet. The others can guess where the undo button is. Now obviously if I press something on those, it'll basically instantly break. So if it's in guest mode, it might have to literally block interactions. Like there's no easy way of reconciling it. Now what I would love to have is a double host mode. But then we might have to make a separate cursor for each host. But yeah, I mean, the basic technology is here, right? All right, that's it. It's crazy late here, and I'm hoping that I can turn this into something that I can at least publish as an experiment. So I need to make sure it doesn't break the server or whatnot. But yeah, it's a good start. I'm actually quite happy with this, and I'm very happy with the screenshot tool. And I don't know if I need to publish something else for that, but I'll worry about that later or tomorrow morning. In the meantime, thanks for hanging out. Make sure you keep an eye out for SudokuCon updates. Twitch.tv/SudokuCon is the place where you can sign up. There's a Discord. I don't have the details. You know, poke me on Discord if you want them. There's also a Twitter account now. And as we get closer to the live stream, we are going to output more and more information. And hopefully Simon and Mark will be part of this whole process as well. So it's going to get quite exciting. Thank you so much for hanging out. And take care. See you guys in the next one. Adios. Well, now I got to figure out how to stop the stream with all the different things that I'm running here now. Oh, stop all.